welcome to Guanajuato.
We are climbing now to 7,000 feet above sea level because.
Cheersing to.
Yes, hold on.
To being in Mexico and having an adventure of our lives.
After a bit of a stressful drive into the city of Guanajuato, navigating the narrow streets and tunnels, we set up camp at a beautiful spot overlooking all of the colorful buildings in the city, caught up on rest and work, and even had time for a little yoga to decompress, before it was time to head out and do some sightseeing. It's a beautiful morning here in the city. Guanajuato is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it's also one of Mexico's most colorful cities.
And today we're going to be doing a walking tour with GTO walkingtours.com, and our tour guide today is John.
We're going to be tasting lots of food and learning about the history of this beautiful city.
We're going to be talking a lot about the river in Guanajuato. When the Spanish came, they started building the city and they built along this river. So as we're walking around Guanajuato, we realize that we're constantly going like this, and there's no straight streets in the whole city just because we're going to be following this river the whole time, okay? So we're standing in the river right now. This is where the river once flowed. So you can now appreciate how the city was built. The Spanish, when they started settling here, because they found the silver and gold in the 1500s, 1557 actually was the date, is when they started building the city right along the river. So here you can see on either side of the river they would have built their houses. And then what they'd also do to get from one side of the river to the other, they built bridges.
GTO Walking Tours is a great combination of both a walking history tour and a food tour, because you're stopping along the way and you're learning about the history of the city, and then you work up an appetite to try all the delicious food.
You got your like cakes, kind of more things here. And then you have your flaky breads and your cookies on the bottom, which are also very good. So I'll let you guys pick the bread you'd like to try.
I kind of want to try the traditional bread, but
The little round ones here?
It has like...
which one would you like, Galen?
Oh, it's fitting that I chose this one because elotes are my favorite street food, and this is called elote as well, which is like a bread version. It has cinnamon sugar on it.
And that's like they have the dead bread.
Something every day or
No, not every day special.
There's something in it.
There's something in it.
So now we are waiting for our gorditas, and we just learned what gorditas are. So they are two tortillas that they put a layer of beans inside, and then you have your choice of meat. We got a Chicharron Prensado, which is pork skin that they deep fry again, which somehow makes it meatier. So I'm very excited to try that. And then because it's breakfast time, we got one that is filled with eggs that's mixed with chili sauce. They also have potatoes, carne, chicharron, not deep fried. So a lot of different options here, and they're making them right over on this big griddle.
Chicharron Prensado. So it is deep fried pig skin that is then pressed with a hydraulic press. I have no idea what this is going to taste like. I hope it's great. It's a little fattier than normal pork, so I can kind of get the sensation that it is pork, but just with a lot more fat content. But it's quite good.
So I am eating the huevos gordita, and we're just told that gorditas are actually a breakfast food here in Guanajuato. So you'll always find these for breakfast, and it's mixed with a bunch of chilies, and we put some chili sauce on here. Spicy, delicious. There's a lot of history here in Guanajuato, but the town didn't really start attracting tourists until the late 70s, early 80s.
So what does Don Quixote have to do with Guanajuato? The answer is almost nothing. In the early 20th century, a college professor would assign books by Cervantes, the author of Don Quixote, as a project for the students. And frequently they would select Don Quixote as the book that they would read and then sometimes perform. Well, this later became a giant festival, and as such, Guanajuato benefited from this. A lot of the electricity, water, even sewage was paid for by the tourism developed from this festival. However, Don Quixote is not from Guanajuato.
Cervantino is now a huge cultural festival that's been going on for the past 47 years. International guests come every October for 3 weeks, and every year they invite a different country to be the guests of honor. Last year it was Canada.
When the tourism started coming to Guanajuato, all these houses up on the hills also were not colorful. They were mostly brick or rock houses. So the reason why we have these bright colors is due to Cervantino. As Cervantino became more and more popular, they wanted to make the city more vibrant or more pretty for the people who came to visit. So they made a contest. Whoever had the brightest colored house would win a reward. Little by little, they started motivating the people to paint their houses. Okay. Now it's a tradition. People just do it when they finish their house. Thanks to Cervantino, the city has changed a lot.
Stop 4 of our food tour, and it is tamale time. This is a tamale that is unique to this region, and it is Swiss Chard. It's vegetarian. Looks like we've got some corn in here. Give it a try. Everything that we've eaten has been so fresh. You can just tell the difference. It's incredible.
This is a chocolate and blue cheese truffle, because of course it is. This is really good because you get the tart sourness of the blue cheese with the sweetness of the chocolate. This is really nice and balanced. This is delicious.
Mercado Hidalgo for lunch. We're having pork tacos. So we put some pickled veggies on there. We've got our pork, our corn tortilla, and some salsa verde. Like usual.
Yeah.
Delicious.
We don't have any earthquakes here. We don't have any natural disasters except for floods or flash floods that happen once in a while still. I think something that I like to tell everybody is that when people think of Mexico, they think of beaches. And the beaches in Mexico are awesome, but I mean, there's really cool spots in Mexico, in the interior of Mexico. Guanajuato is one of them. That's full of culture and wonderful people and food, and I think that is one of the special spots in Mexico.
No food tour would be complete without ice cream. We've eaten so much today. I am so stuffed. But
So I got pistachio.
I got cafe. It's a great way to top off a wonderful morning and afternoon exploring.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I'll eat after you.
I'll feed you.
So we definitely got our steps in now, and I guess it's time to get ready for tonight.
Yeah, so we are heading out with Tim, the owner of GTO Walking Tours, for a night of what I'm sure will be overindulgence, because we're going to do his bars and tacos tour. Lots of tequila, I'm sure.
Can't wait.
Guanajuato is at 6,500 feet above sea level, and where we're staying is another 500 feet. So we are climbing now to 7,000 feet above sea level because.
Look at this church. Oh my gosh.
Liz, and then Dennis. Okay.
After meeting up with Tim, we headed to our first stop of the night to try some pulque, the most traditional and oldest drink in Mexico.
So that's the oldest type of alcohol in Mexico. It's probably 2,000 years old at least.
Bottoms up.
Has a weird smell, but it tastes pretty good.
Kind of like a almost sour on the back end,
Yeah.
but very drinkable. This is the guava. Not as sweet as the coconut. I can't decide if I like it or not. I either love it or hate it. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not very sweet. I think it'd be much more drinkable to do a whole glass of it.
This one's also not nearly as sour.
The way that these buses just fly down these streets is quite intimidating. Each bar we walk into is totally different. And when you walk up the steps or down a hallway, you never really know what you're going to get. So it's like the ultimate surprise.
I started with a street food walking tour. It's because there wasn't much in English at the time. There's still not a whole lot in English. So I started that just kind of to fill a gap because nobody else was doing it. We call it bars and tacos because we try to have some tequila and then pulque and mezcal and a michelada, and then we'll finish up with something at the end. Depends on what people are up for. And we try to grab some tacos and some street corn, something like that along the way to get some food in our stomachs.
How do people usually do?
Pretty well. Sometimes they keep rocking it for a few more hours and we have to say goodbye. They distill it straight out of the agave plant, and then this is aged for 6 months or so, just depends.
What are we cheersing to?
Yes, hold on.
To being in Mexico and having an adventure of our lives. Yes, Tim, thank you.
Salud.
Salud.
Oh yeah.
Aw.
Like water.
Next, it was off to try another Mexican favorite, the michelada.
I love micheladas. They're basically beer with spices and hot sauce and sometimes even soy sauce, and then they rim the glass with more spice.
If I had to take a guess on who can drink the most, I'm going to say Stacy.
Everyone loved and finished their huge 1-liter micheladas.
Well, except for Caitlin and Liz, who kind of hated it.
But it was finally taco time. We ate some of the most delicious tacos from this stand near one of the town fountains.
Yeah, and they had chicken, steak, chorizo, which is basically like spicy pork sausage, and even tripe, which is pig stomach.
How many Americans do you usually see for Guanajuato?
We usually do probably 4 to 8 tours a week, depending on how busy it is, what time of year. We're super busy at Christmas and during the summer. But this is mostly a Mexican tourist town. There's not nearly as many foreigners here as there are domestic tourists. Right.
So you've got worm salt and orange slices.
So Tim, this is Mezcal. What's the difference between Mezcal and Tequila?
Tequila is more refined and it has a very specific process that people have to go through, and there are certain areas where tequila is allowed, mostly in Jalisco. Mezcal can be made a lot of different ways. It could be a pit in the ground even with smoke all around and everything. So you have a lot more variety with Mezcal. There's also 8 different plants it can be made from, whereas tequila has to be blue agave specifically.
So this is worm, you said?
Worm salt.
Worm salt.
Ground up worms and salt.
Well, I'm definitely trying it.
Yeah, why not? When in Mexico.
Worm salt?
Hey. Good.
Oh, it's delicious.
It's amazing.
I love
Wow.
Good.
I usually don't like pineapple cocktails, but this is very balanced. Pineapple usually has like a sharp tart at the end. The cilantro balances that very nicely.
Mezcal was so good here.
We're going to get elote. This is my favorite, one of my favorite things in the world. It's corn, sauce, cheese. Go to town and it's delicious.
We made it to the end of the night. Remember to pace yourself, drink water, and not drink the Micheladas all at once.
And a big thanks to Tim and GTO Walking Tours. They kept us paced very nicely so that we could make it to the end of the night. We had a fantastic time. This is an amazing way to see this beautiful city after dark. How do people usually do?
Pretty well. Sometimes they keep rocking it for a few more hours and we have to say goodbye.
Thank you for shooting everything. You're the MVP.
I don't know about that. But
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.